Peace, 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 everyone. This is your girl Sunshine, and this is Shine Vibrations. It is Friday, the 15th, and last week I had the replay. Hope y'all caught that again with Mr. Timothy Whispers. He is such a dope brother from New York who is in Florida, and which brings me a nice segue because my next guest is also out of New York and is also living in Florida. So it's something about us from Jersey and New York. We either in North Carolina heavy or we in Florida heavy from what I'm seeing, and Georgia too. No disrespect to the other areas, but those in the realm and the scopes of what I do, we all kind of migrate to the same general area. So that's dope. So before I get into introducing my guests, we have to go on to our ads real quick. So, oh, and tonight, every night practically I have the Fresh Moons by Rule Jacobs and Fresh Clothing. Tonight I am actually wearing the She Fresh um set that you're going to see in his ad coming up. So first we have my brothers from Soul Society and Heavy Energy with that live alkaline water.
Peace and love, family. Check it out. It's the We Are the Gold campaign. The We Are the Gold campaign is all about highlighting ourselves as the wealth, value, and solutions we've been looking for. We are the gold. Before it comes to the money, your health is the wealth. Tap into intentional lifestyle decisions, making sure you're putting living, local foods preferably, especially organic, into your well-being, your temple, And you already know you gotta couple that with the live alkaline water, the best hydration in the nation. Natural alkaline spring water straight from the source, no artificial induced processing. And the other side of the We Are the Gold campaign is activating our economics, So tap into the We Are the Gold campaign. Get your $20 monthly subscription special at heavyenergyuniversity.com.
And if you run over to heavyenergyuniversity.com and you have the choice to use two promo codes. One is Shine Vibrations 888. The second is Royal Suns, that's SUNZ Enterprises 810. Run over there to heavyenergyuniversity.com. See the events that these brothers is doing. They are doing a lot for our communities, and link with these brothers, build, network, do what you can. They are really about the community and nation healing and building. And this is what we need, especially with the new 4 years to come. So with that being said, next we have my big bro out of PC, Rawway, New Jersey, 07065. He is known as Rule Jacobs. He has the Fresh Clothing line, which is Go Fresh Yourself. He has the Fresh Moms Club. He has the Fresh Men's Club. And he also has the She Fresh line, and this is one of the promos he used for Mother's Day this past year. And you can also follow him on social media. You saw the tag for TikTok, Go Fresh Yourself, Instagram, Go Fresh Yourself, She's Fresh, Fresh Men's Club, everything that I mentioned before. You can look all those up on Instagram and you will find his pages. You will probably see some pictures of me and my royal sons on there as well, and quite a few others that are from the town and those that continually to support him and those from across the seas. So, nice segue. I love the fact that me and the sister met through Blast. As I tell y'all before, Blast is an ever-growing family that we have. We are close knit. Some of us have had the opportunity to actually meet each other in person, and we are working on some things to have a blast event so we can come together, not only for the fans of Blast, but also for the family of Blast. So I am looking forward to that and definitely getting the opportunity to meet my next guest. So, my next guest is in the poetry world is known as Miss Tosh B. Miss Tosh B hails from Newburgh, New York. You know, I love my Northerners, no disrespect nobody else, but you know, up top, we got it all day long. But she has migrated to Orlando, Florida. She is one of New York's hottest poets, formerly arts and cultural commissioners. And this is what I love the most right here. She is one of New York's first women blend master DJs. She is also part of the Blast family. Y'all gotta run over to her page and check her out. And during this interview, we definitely gonna give her the opportunity to speak more about her show as well, and you know her skills as a DJ. This is the picture that she provided. This is the queen here. So without further ado, peace, peace, queen. How are
Hey,
you?
sister. How
How
you
are
doing?
you? I am better.
Yeah, that's right. Amen. God
Yes,
is good. We know that.
yes, I am better. I am better
Yeah, we
because
know God is
today,
good. We know
whoa,
God is good.
whew, I saw this. It was this nice little meme, and you know how they do the ones for the zodiac and everything, and it showed the Taurus, and it was this little boy, and he was crying. You know how kids, when they don't get their way, they throw their heads all the way up like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in the corner it says, when I have to give myself 2 seconds of emotional time so that I could do the rest of the shit that I gotta do. And
Yeah,
literally he cried for like 2, 3 seconds and then gathered himself and then kept it moving. And I said, oh, that is my
that's
life.
right.
That has been my life, my whole entire life. I definitely contribute that. Those of us that can do that, especially when it counts the most, that's emotional intelligence.
The last thing my dad told me before he passed away was keep it moving.
Forward movement
Keep it
all day
moving.
long.
You
That's
know?
right.
He
That's how
said,
it
because
is.
when you slow down, you give people a chance to grab hold of you and slow you up.
Now that's definitely some jewels right there.
Yeah.
Um, so up, peace, peace, peace. We have another fellow queen and sister of Blast, Malikia
Hey,
K.
Sister
Courtney.
Malika.
And also, you know, Partners in Rhymes. You know, I love my Partners in Rhymes family on Clubhouse, which is every Friday, 8 p.m. Clubhouse. Partners in Rhymes, Lyrical Vibes. She is one half of Partners in Rhymes, and I'm just one of the co moderators. So graciously added to the team, and I love the additional family that I have with them too. Matter of fact, let me run back over here real quick to these pictures because so y'all could get to see who I am speaking of, because this was actually a picture from the first Partners in Rhymes event in person.
Hey, sisters. Look at
That
y'all looking all good
yes, that is my sis right there next to me.
with her nice smile.
Yes, yes. When I tell you light up the room, and also the blessed see, and I also know how we got so close because her solar return is within the same week as my favorite man in the whole wide world is my Uncle Mike, which I call like my dad. Their birthdays are right in the beginning of July, so it was perfect. I got to see her again because she had a layover. You know, I tell folks, hey, I'm right by Charlotte Airport. You know, you got a layover. Hey, I'm like
Yeah,
5, 7 minutes away. You can come kick
yeah,
it. You know, kicked it, fed her. You know, we got to embrace each other, and she got to, you know, commune with my royals. You know, get to see what keeps me going every day. And
yeah,
then, but that time was a great time to really get a chance to be around each other and to also get an opportunity to perform in front of my uncle, which he hadn't seen me do since I was a kid. So It was everything. It was the great experience. And the dope thing about networking and making those connections is because they are the positive ones are life evolving.
Yeah.
And every new addition, you know, no disrespect how I'm saying this, but fuck Drake when he talked about no new friends.
I like I like new friends.
Yeah, because they bring new life, they bring new energy. But again, the
Yeah.
positive ones. We gonna make sure we say it right. The
Yeah.
positive
Absolutely.
ones, you know, and
Mm.
a lot of us is in that 40 and up club, and we ain't got time for the bullshit.
We ain't even gonna start that nonsense tonight. Don't even start tonight. I done already told you now.
I chat earlier this afternoon. Well, so before we get deep into this, you know, those of you who do not know who this woman is, Tosh, I want to give you the opportunity to tell the people what you want them to know about you. You know, a lot of times we get in the realm of when people report on us
Yes.
and they put this image out. So I always ask my guests, let the people know where you from and what is it that you want them to know about you.
Well, it's not much that I'm formerly an arts and cultural commissioner, first black woman to serve on a commission in my town. Um,
Mm,
like I've done a lot of firsts. You know what I mean? Where most people don't really appreciate women standing. I've stood, 10 toes down, toe to toe, going blow for blow with all the fellas and all the people out there. So I've gained a level of respect within the male field.
okay.
When most women can't break into that field, the fellas actually have a lot of respect for me because I fight my way through, and and not only that, but I love the fellas. I was raised by men. I'm an only girl,
Oh
and
wow.
yeah, yeah. So I have all these brothers.
Blast
And,
checking in. Let's go,
yeah,
ladies.
and so my smooth with a roughness comes from the fellas. You know, um, I'm one of New York's. I am New York's first woman blend master. I go back even further than Spinderella. There wasn't a lot of women DJing when I was growing up. It was me and mostly me and Jazzy Joyce at that time.
Yep.
And I got sidetracked at a young age. I had my son very young. And so that took me out of the game for some years. I never stopped DJing all those years. And so right now, I run a DJ blend battle page called the Ultimate DJ Blend Battle,
Hmm.
which led up to my show. It went from there to the international blend battle radio station, and then now the Ultimate DJ Music Review and More talk show. And so it has just advanced over and over. I'm formerly a community activist and one of the first to bring home a gubernatorial citation
Mm.
to my city um, for event coordination, for event creations and stuff. And not only that, but I brought it home through our first African American governor, Governor David Patterson.
Hmm.
And so it was a pleasure for me to be able to have that piece of paper from our first black governor. And I'm a mom, I'm a umi.
Yes, oh me.
And and I was blessed to have some magnificent children who are also they way more dynamite than me, you know.
But that's
And
how we supposed to have
yeah,
it. I
yeah, they
tell my
way more
sons,
dynamite than me.
you know how y'all know my sons already. They pop in and out, so I had to turn the light on because it was a little dim in here. And of course, they wanted to sneak and pop their head, and they thought I was live already, but that didn't happen.
Uh-huh.
but
They
you
said
see, but you see them.
she looked like a picture. She
Hmm.
don't look real. She looked like a painting.
Yes, indeed. So
That was cute.
like. But I tell them the same thing. Anything that they talk about, I'm like, no, you want better than me. I am the
That's right.
standard. When they talk about something, well, yeah, I got to learn to get in the kitchen because, I need to be able to feed myself. I said, that's right. You better get in here and learn how to cook. And then they was like, yeah, because my wife, I'm going to be cooking for my wife and my family. But if
That's
she
right.
cook, she got to cook like you. I said, no, she got to cook better than me.
Yeah.
Everything, it's
Yeah.
better. You want better. So, uh, Malikia said, "You are amazing and congratulations on the accomplishment." She's
Thank
working
you,
and listening.
sister.
That sister is busy too. Y'all definitely need the link, especially the next time she has her women's retreat because they have it in different places, but they was just there in September down in Florida. And it's definitely a good experience. And plus, she has her podcast on Tuesday nights. So y'all check her out, Malikia K. Courtney with the Sanctuary Experience.
Absolutely.
That's big sis right there. So the music is definitely, and I believe with a lot of us from Jersey and New York, music is like our lives are built off of a soundtrack. I would just say that
Yes.
because the culture of it, with the hip hop starting and everything like that, like you were around for a lot of that.
Yeah, I was around
And
for a lot of that.
yeah, and like my older brother Malik, like I got the opportunity to meet KRS-One when I was younger because of him. And then got the opportunity, the brothers that I did the ad for with the alkaline water, they have Alkaline Festival and a series of other events, but they brought KRS-One and I had the opportunity to introduce my sons to them. So, it was a beautiful thing, beautiful experience. And it's just like I can literally whatever song is playing takes me back to something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is what I was doing right at this moment in time, the first time I heard this song. So for you with the music, how did the poetry and the music tie in together?
The your brother Malik, he may not know me as Taj B because that's my poetry name. I'm one of New York's hottest poets, and he will probably remember me as Lil DJ Tough City because
Mm.
that was my DJ name back then. And when you say that, it's gonna ring a bell. He gonna be like, "Oh shoot, I do remember that name."
Well, I tagged him in the post, so I
Yeah,
know he was at work. So I had told him, and he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." He was like, "If I could get off of work," but yeah. I cannot wait to let him be like, "Bro, you need to catch it and see who I was on there with."
yeah, that'll be. But wait a minute. But wait, this is the funny part, right? Because they say, like, you don't look old enough to be
You
way
don't.
back when.
You don't. I look like I slid that in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
uh,
was around for that. But
uh-huh.
yeah, I was hoping somebody was gonna say it or pop up in the comments and say it because you don't. When
Yeah,
Veep was telling me, and I said, no, I know who you're talking about. And then when I saw you when we was all on the meeting, I said, damn, is that the same one?
yeah,
Like, but yes, indeed. Well, what they say, black don't crack. Hey, that's all
yeah.
I can
I
say. We got
I
got
can't
good
figure out
genes.
why, but
Got good
I
genes.
don't tend to age too much. I don't know
Well,
what that is, but I thank God for it.
for real, because folks say to me that I don't look 43. I said, good. Okay. Like,
You
you
don't.
know, like, appreciate it. Like, I've had, like, women on the job be like, oh my God, I thought you was like my age. And then when they say how old they are, and I'm like, because I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, I
yeah,
thought you was my age, and you actually almost 20 years younger than me.
yeah,
Like, but
yeah,
it's genes, them genetics to get you right.
yeah. A lot of
But
people
then
get
it's
it
also
confused with me.
how you live. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's it's how you live too. So if you living right, that righteous living, whatever your walk is, as long as living righteously, it shows your light is always gonna shine.
Yeah. That's that God on you. Absolutely.
Yeah, and hey, look, that's like I call her one of my number one supporters right here. Zanice, she is so dope. I had her on here. I can't wait to have her again.
Hey,
And
Denise.
she is dope. She's a dope poet as well. She does so many things, but when I tell you she has the ability to take your poetry to a whole nother visual level.
Yes.
She is, when I say, if anybody say if this was gambling, and you know how they say they always bet on black on a roulette table,
That's right.
I'm always betting on her. I mean, because I've been seeing her work before I actually got introduced to her. So it's definitely it's just that much greater when you finally get to meet the person, after you've seen their work. And like I said, everybody that's on my show, I am originally a fan first. So
Yeah.
I get to do two things at once. So Zanice, you could go ahead and put your info in the chat too. So anybody that catch the replays, folks looking for some dope visual imagery to go along with their artistry, that's who you go to right there. She's definitely
Okay.
top notch. So the poetry, was this first,
No.
or did it what came about? Did it come about the time when you took a little bit of a back seat?
You know what happened? Believe it or not, a group that I used to belong to called the New Poet Production. They started a poetry group in my town, and I was really only supposed to be the host of the show for one night. Uh,
Mm,
my
sounds familiar.
Yeah, my brother pushed me up to it. Um, like when I was younger, I'd be writing all these raps and stuff when I was young, and when hip hop really first started getting off the ground back in the '80s and stuff, I would write all these different little raps and stuff, but never journeyed off into the poetry realm. But because the music was always my first thing,
Mm,
and being that I couldn't, I chose my children over the music. I chose to raise my children instead of pursuing my career. Most people, a lot of people that I know growing up gave their children away, to their parents and stuff like that. But I chose to raise my children instead. And
mm,
so, because I couldn't do the music like I really wanted to. I couldn't be out in the field.
yeah.
I would have been. I don't know if you guys remember a young man named DJ Kid Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And DJ Kid Nice had "I Want You to Like It" and "Keep Dreaming" and some different songs. Your brother would probably remember what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You know, um, and so Kid Nice, um, when he went international, I was a little kid DJ. I was, like 13. I think I started DJing like 12 or 13, and he wanted to take me with him. And because I was so young, my mom told him no. She's too young to be out there,
Mm-hmm.
in the world like that. She's just too little for that. But he did give me the opportunity to be able to open up for some people, even as a young girl. That's why a lot of the older people know me, like Starsky brought me to the forefront some years ago at the Ruckers. He used to have these little parties at the Ruckers and stuff. And so
Mm-hmm.
um
The classic Rucker games.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And so that's how I got a chance to meet a lot of the people. That's why I say they know me as Little Tough City. They don't know me as Tosh B. Tosh B happened to be my poetry name as the
Hmm.
poetry went on. But I was only supposed to be that one night. I
So
only,
what changed?
they needed help. You know what I'm saying? Like, they, not that they didn't already have a dynamic poetry squad, but they needed some help. Like
Some tweaking.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
needed some people, you know,
Yeah.
and the person that was running the poetry squad at the time, he was my parents' friend, so I
Got
was really doing it on the strength of my parents.
gotcha.
You know what I mean? And from there, you know, we went down to Harlem to the hottest poet factory and down on Sixth Ave, and you know, eventually I won top five, won top 10. Believe it or not, Amanda Diva, what y'all call her, Amanda Seals,
Mhm.
is one of the people that I actually won on stage with. So you know that's how I
Okay.
got to know Amanda Seals. But I got a chance to know a lot of dynamite poets in the process, and even now I don't do poetry as much as I used to. I still write, I just don't perform as much as I used to.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, poetry was never on my hit list. It was just something that I did out of trying to help. You know, I used to write when I was younger, when I was in college, and I had this professor named Kathy Vandenberg, and white lady, and she used to always make me write stuff for her because she would always look at me and say, "One day you're going to be like a great writer."
Mm.
Like, you know, when people speak blessings over your life, they tend to take root,
That's right.
you know. And she was speaking blessings over my life from my college years. Like, no, like you have such a way with words and the way that you do things. So she would do these little um she would, like, if she's going to a wedding, she would make me write a poem for her. Can you write me a poem? And so this was even before I even got into the poetry scene, period. So I already had the experience of writing
Mhm.
poetry because my professor used to make me do it for her. You get what I'm
She
saying? So
saw
by
it.
the
Yeah.
time, yeah, by the time I got into the poetry field, I was already equipped to be able to just
Yeah.
do poetry because I had already been writing years before I got to them. I just never performed it. I would just write, you know, like, and I
Mhm.
still write right to this day. Even though I don't perform, I still write.
So when did you, like, that was the first time dealing with that group, was when you started to actually perform your poetry?
Yes.
And so what was the difference? I always like to ask people, what's the difference, if there's a difference to you, or which do you prefer? Do you prefer just to write, or you like the writing and performing your own work? Cuz I know some people that say they only want to write and they really don't like to perform.
I don't mind performing. You know, I'm dynamite on the microphone, but I don't like the microphone. Like, something about the mic scares the life out of me, you know? Like, for real, as soon as I get in front of the mic, I start trembling and stuff. And, you know, like I have to, but you'll never know it by the tone of my voice that I'm that apprehensive.
It's on the inside,
Yeah,
but you
yeah,
got your
you can
poker
never
face
see it.
on.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
never see it, you know? So, you know, Yana Whitehouse, the owners of the hottest poets, and Matt McCoy, they took a real deep liking to me. You know,
Mhm.
125, um, another fellow poet, Kasim Allah, Jade Banks, who does the Signifying Poetry book.
Mhm.
You know, they took a real big liking to me. You know, like they had made me one of them, one of theirs. You know,
Gotcha.
down in the city. So you know, it made me a little more comfortable being able to perform, you know?
Yeah. That's definitely good, and it's always like a blessing where people take you up under their wing. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like that's kind of when I when you started talking about that's kind of how I got with Partners in Rhyme. Like I swear this is gonna be like the funniest story ever, that I when people ask about Malikia and Scott, I was like, oh yeah, I got voluntold, I got bullied. Like I was a feature, me and Sharita, we were features because I was assisting her with her nouns and verbs premiering on Clubhouse, and we were under them. and I we were both featured, and we did that Friday. And then next thing you know, every time I logged in and went into the room, that green little star was next to my face, and I kept logging out and kept. She said, "Oh no, we kept you as a moderator." Like eventually, after a while, like when we all started trading like little funny stories, I said, "Well, I got one that I just been quiet about."
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but like I said again, it just opens way more doors for you, and then it's also meaningful because it's a lot that I have learned from her and within the last year. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a valuable connection. Like the friendship is real. Distance don't mean nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? It's the
That's
value
right.
in the company. It's the value in the conversation. So if especially mind detect mind. So if it is, I'm telling secrets.
Don't tell no secrets.
I ain't telling no secrets. That's what it was. Like like I literally visually have this when I'm telling a story. I literally have this vision of Malikia being like a big sister, that little sister that get on your nerves, but you gotta take them everywhere.
That's
Well, this
right.
time it's like, no, you better get your tail in here, like, and like that's just how I took it.
Yeah, let them see you.
Yeah, like she's like, look, let's go. But like again, it helps. It helps a lot when people see you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? When
yeah,
they see you, you know what I'm saying, without whatever is going on around, and not too many people have that ability,
yeah,
and a lot of people don't know how to decipher. She was all in. So, like I said, that's divine timing and divine energy right there that came through. And look, we love you, and you were about it. Motion makes
that's right.
miracles happen. When you put it in motion, I could be your springboard dragon. I'll see you when I come back around. And who we have? Oh, we have Malaysia. Hello, darling. No, that's Melissa. My bad. The exclusive. Peace
Hey,
and
the exclusive.
love. Yes, yes, yes. Folks is getting ready for Partners in Rhyme, and I love it when the family comes through. So right now, before we get into more of, I should have been like, you want to do a little mix live on the show? I should have. I was thinking it, but my day was so hectic, I forgot to. But before we get into the poetry, let's take our break. And I feel special because Veep said that this is new. So this is from one of Blast's number one artists, Elijah Rosario, with Chemical Reaction.
Is it too late to say that I'm sorry? Or have we reached a point of no return? Say what's on your mind. I don't wanna turn a blind eye to all the things that we've done to reach this point into an empty void, facing repercussions from the words of our choice. I'm just trying to find a reason we should stay. Be ashamed to throw it all away. I'm not giving up so easy. I still want you, need you, here with me in the middle of the night when you touch me so gently. If you're trusting, willing to learn me, after all the times I try pushing away, girl, I still see a light here with you over my road. I'm still willing to admit my flaws, show you that I'm worth the cause, give you everything you need, prepared to catch you when you fall. You got me pleading on my knees. Oh baby, don't leave me. You got me pleading on my knees. Oh baby, cause I still want you, need you. Here with me in the middle of the night when you touch me so gently. If you're trusting, willing to learn me, after all the times I tried pushing away, girl, I still feel like being with you. Going real, my baby.
I like
Ooh,
it. Yeah,
yes, that
I
was
like it.
Elijah Rosario with
Yeah,
Chemical
that's right.
Reaction. Now, you too can be your artist spotlight. All you have to do is run over to blastmusic247.com and choose the freemium account, and you can upload your stage to have your music playing for loads of people to stream, as well as for all the podcasts on the platform. But it's not just for the artists. If you are a fan and you want to hear more music like that one, because I'm telling you, we got some hitters on blast. Y'all need to go and run over there. And guess what? It's for the FREE. It's for the free. So run over to blastmusic247.com because we out here changing the industry one artist at a time. Let me tell you something.
That's
And if I
right.
remember correctly, Elijah is representing Bull City, Durham, North Carolina, or that's where he's located right now. So if I am still correct, Bull City, stand up, okay? Elijah, I want you to know right now, I got a new favorite of yours. This one right here. You saw me in the background. I had my phone and I had to stop and look at the screen like, wait a minute, hold up.
No, that was
I'm like,
fly.
yes, the video concept and everything. He really, really did that one right there. So, y'all know we do the health, wealth, and stealth. So we have early on in the show, we have our brothers from Soul Society, Heavy Energy University.com with the alkaline water. And we have our folks over at CannaLeaf. Okay.
Okay.
CannaLeaf, discover your ultimate online dispensary. Looking for premium cannabis products without leaving your home? Welcome to CannaLeaf.net, your one stop shop for all things cannabis. They have a huge selection. Explore their diverse range of strains and edibles with just a few clicks. They got it all. There is an exclusive offer to only Blast Music 24/7 subscribers. So if you are not subscribed, to not just my show, but to Blast Music 24/7's page on YouTube, you cannot use this promo. But run on over there, hit that subscribe button, and then run over to CannaLeaf.net and put in the promo code Blast15. Shop online. It's quick, easy, and convenient. Just visit CannaLeaf.net to browse their selection and place your orders within minutes. Why wait? Elevate your experience with CannaLeaf today. You can follow them on social media, which is Instagram and Snapchat. CannaLeaf underscore FL. Yes, we repping the Florida crew right now.
Yeah, that's fly.
So yes, don't forget y'all. Run over,
CannaLeaf. I'm gonna have
subscribe.
to remember that.
Go on get your stuff. They got gummies. They got everything galore. Okay, let's run back. Melissa said hey.
Troy,
Scott said
Troy
hey.
still owe me some gummies. So
Uh-oh. 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 Look, Father Time.
uh-huh.
He is the other half, Scott Harrell, the other half of Partners in Rhyme. Dope brother, very, very dope brother. We have a funny story too about
Peace, bro.
how we actually knew each other first. But when I tell you it was a blessing in disguise, it definitely was. Yep. Melissa got nabbed too. Yep, she sure did. I knew it once she started pitch hitting. I said she gonna be part of the crew sooner or later. And yes, Elijah did his thing with that song. It is definitely a vibe.
Absolutely.
So we talk to the people. The people know you're from Newburgh, New York, and I just want you to know I spent time up there. I spent time in Poughkeepsie. It is definitely different, from the
I grew up
city.
in Poughkeepsie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's like now there's this one spot that I love, and I won't bring myself to Google to see if it still exists, because the last time I was in Poughkeepsie, it was in like 2002 going into 2003.
yeah,
But soon as you come off the highway, you pass the little water fixture and everything like that, that
yeah.
little side street, Janet's Jerk Stop. When I tell you she has the best, best, best Caribbean
Right
food.
before you get to Main Street.
Yes.
Uh-huh. I know
I
what you're
got
talking
to
about.
meet her personally. So every time I was in the city and I would come over there, she would treat me like one of her kids. She'd be like, come here now, girl. Come on, get your plate. She already knew what I wanted. She'd have
Mm-hmm.
it ready. So, but yeah. Oh, that's like one of the best memories that I have of a Poughkeepsie because
Uh-huh. Right off
we
Pulaski Street.
yes, yes,
Uh-huh.
yes. See, I knew you would know. As soon as you said that, I said, yes, I know she gonna know who I'm talking
Hmm.
about.
I grew up
Yes,
in Poughkeepsie.
yes, that's
Yeah,
yes. So shout out
yeah,
to if Janet's Stop is still open. I'm telling y'all, if y'all are up there, you traveling through, stop there. She probably won't remember me unless she see a picture, but I mean that's some years. So, but yeah, she when you talk about good cooked food with love, she got it. The whole
yeah.
place is a vibe too. So you're from Newburgh, grew up in Poughkeepsie.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
hung
and
out in
Pe-
the
and
city,
Peekskill
Peekskill Mountains
and
up that way, right?
Brooklyn and yeah,
Brooklyn.
I done grew up in all them places.
So, what took you from there to Florida?
The heat.
You, thank you. Said
Yeah,
the
the
same
heat.
thing about coming to North Carolina. Besides, I do have maternal roots in North Carolina, but I left Jersey
Yeah, I
because
don't
of the
know no
cold.
damn body.
You just got up and left. You was like, you know what? It's hotter down there. I gotta go where the heat at.
Sunshine, I came down here with a suitcase, a duffel bag, my niece, because I had custody of my niece at the time. We came down here, we didn't even have a bed. I had paid for my apartment like 6 months in advance.
Okay.
And I had some issues with the movers moving my stuff down, so I put everything in storage. I came with a suitcase for me and for her. She had her own, I had my own. We had a duffel bag, and then I had like utensils. I had 2 pots, 2 spoons, 2 forks, 2 bowls. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? That's how I
Yeah,
rolled out.
done
I had
that. Boy, when I
a
tell you we are
saucepan and a
survivalists.
frying pan. Yeah, yeah, that's how I came. And my house is fully furnished now, and my stuff is still in storage in New York. 9 years later, my stuff is still in storage in New York. But I got a my crib is fully loaded right now. But that's the miracle of God, and that's the blessing of God.
That's right.
When you anointed like that, the Lord, He just bless every move that you make.
Indeed, indeed. Malika said, oh, wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely feel you. So, um, the
What?
home,
What?
look, because, I tell people a
What?
free, this is a
Hit me.
free show.
Hit
So,
me.
folks was kind of asking me who, when I was telling them, like, yeah, who was going to be on, like, well, what kind of poetry she going to do? I said, I don't know. I'm gonna just let her run how she do, like how she do on the mixes. So I don't have any requests. Whichever poem you would like to share, it's on you. Wherever you want to take us. I think I got a feeling what you're gonna do, but I don't
What,
want to.
what you
I don't
think
want to
I'm
get.
gonna do?
I Nope. Go ahead. I just want to see if I'm right because the energy, the type of the conversations we had leading up to tonight. So I just want to see if I'm kind of right.
What you think I'm gonna do? I have a signature poem usually that I try to lay out for people to kind of give them an idea of who I am,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
like personally who I am. And
Because New Yorkers always got to
yeah,
let you know who they are.
yeah,
So
that's
yeah, I
right.
was kind of right. Yep. Okay, so I knew you was going to do something like that. Because messing around with Malikia, and I appreciate her for that, is because she asked me, "Do you have a signature piece? Like, do you have an intro piece?" And I said, "No."
Yeah.
So because of that conversation, after all the years of writing poetry, I finally have a intro piece. So that's what's up. So whenever you are ready, let me mute the background music. I don't want to distract you. So whenever you are ready, I am going to cut my mic, okay?
Okay. Well, the poem, my signature poem, is called "Chronically Late," and it kind of describes my going forward and what keeps me going forward, right? And it goes, I'm I'm running at top speed. See this, and I can't be late because if I take too long, I just might be tempting fate. But wait, methinks me sees a stumbling stone sticking out at the edge of the block, waiting to get entangled in my shoes and my socks. I run jump over so I do not have to stop. I'm now 2 steps ahead, so I have beat the clock. But now that I've made it over that obstacle, I'm running at top speed trying to get to where I got to go, only to fall over my own ego and hit the flow. 1, 2, 3 steps wasted, I'm behind once more. So now I got to get myself up, dust myself off, and take off, only to get to my final destination and find myself lost. I'm lost in time, but still got wings on my feet. But I'm now standing in front of these 3 doors, but I forgot the instruction sheet. So I walk and knock on door number 1, and all my friends were in there fornicating, manipulating, having what they call fun. And they invited me in, yes, but I turned to run. I then became the enemy because I was not the one. I I then turned to knock on door number 2, and it looked like a church, but however, Satan was there too. And most of the people were dressed real nice, but a lot of them evil through and through. So away from door number 2, my ass flew right on down to door number 3, which was illuminated, shiny, and bright. But see, when I knocked on this door, Jesus Christ screamed back, all right, you made it, my sister. Yes, you won the fight. You might have chose wrong before, but see, now you choose right. You've suffered through many things trying to find me, but the instructions were always you will find if you seek. So, that's one of my signature poems that if somebody asks me to recite me, uh that's usually the poem that I give them.
That was dope. That was definitely dope. When did you actually pin that one?
Oh man, Um some years ago when um going through all um the crossroads, you may say,
Mhm.
of being famous, not being famous, and being famous and then not being famous, and being well known and then disliked after being well known, because
Mhm.
when you become well known around, like the Bible teaches us, a prophet is not accepted or without honor, in their own home or their own hometown. So once I started climbing a lot higher than my peers and the people around me, I became the enemy.
Mhm.
Like I wasn't doing the things that they wanted me to do. I wasn't behaving the way that they wanted me to behave. But I
You
had,
had
I
the
had,
courage to go
yeah,
out for what you
yeah,
wanted and they
yeah,
didn't.
yeah,
Cause
and then
that's really what it is. It ain't none of that other stuff. It's the fact that they had the same dreams and aspirations, but didn't have the wherewithal, the know-withal, or the courage to actually see it through. And you did. And that's what in
yeah,
turns you get the hater.
I was an
Yep.
agent of
That's
change.
right. Well, you getting your applauses in the chat.
Thank you, Zanise. Yeah, I was an agent of change. And then um, when somebody want to be seen and you the one being seen, it it causes a lot of turbulence amongst the crowd.
Yeah. Hmm.
And
Oh, when I tell you, like the divine energy just be working because having a conversation with my dude about literally the same thing this morning in reference to something like, it's just like we see. And the thing about it is when you have the light, you can see when those people operate like that.
Yeah,
And it's like we could see it, but they act like we don't see it. And it's
yeah,
like who you think you fooling?
yeah. See right through all that. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
it's all divine guidance. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's all divine guidance. I had, from young, I was, like I said, being a young DJ like that, you wind up doing all kind of stuff in the process. I was like a little young hustler and all this other stuff. And so they knew me the hustler, and they knew, these other things about me. So that when God changed me, they didn't like that person.
that's right.
They like the other me. And
Yep.
so now here emerges this new me, this anointed me, you know.
The evolved you.
Yeah, and because of that, it was like it was so hard for them to take hold of. It's like, no, we want the other Tosh back. And I'm saying to them, she's dead.
Mm, that's deep. That's deep. Because some folks still in 2024 don't understand what you just said.
Yeah, she's dead. Like, like she's, remnants of her still live within me. Don't get it fucked up.
Yep.
You know what
Because
I'm saying?
sometimes you got to reach back to that
Yeah,
old
yeah,
in
yeah.
different situations. That reminds me of my grandmother. I call her my grandmother. She's like one of the best women examples that I've had. She, once of the world and now she's a pastor. But I
Absolutely.
remember it was a situation and I almost didn't want to tell her, but it bothered me so much because who it involved. And my blood was already boiling and I
Yeah,
didn't want to get her there.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
I remember, you
That's
know,
right. The
I
flip
remember,
mode. That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? So she's crossed over. So it's like if anybody get like that, it need to be me. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
For her. But she told me, she said, don't get it twisted. Just as much as things go on and need to be dealt with in the spirit, sometimes has to be dealt with in the natural.
It does. It
And
does. You
ever
gotta you
since
gotta
she
every
said
now and
that,
again take it to the flesh.
that's right.
Just
And a
to let
lot of
them know that
people,
I'm not soft. I'm changed.
yeah, I'm just changed.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But don't get it twisted. I'm
yeah,
still that person. Like, don't
yeah.
forget what you know of me, but take the time to get to learn me, you know?
I'm no longer of the world, but I'm still in the
Yeah,
world. Don't get
yeah,
it twisted.
that's right. And self preservation is the first law of
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
and we
And,
weren't
and my
created
aunt, the
to be
pastor, told
tools.
me one day when I used to cry, after I got baptized and all this other stuff, I used to be crying a lot because, it was such a change. And my aunt, and everybody kept coming at me and coming at me and coming at me. And my aunt, the pastor, very devout pastor,
Mm-hmm.
looked over at me one day and said, God wants you to hurt him sometime, baby. And
Because
and she
I
made me write a poem about that. And that's what the poem was called. God wants you to hurt him sometime.
do you still have that one?
It's somewhere floating around, but I'm
Oh,
telling you,
baby, when you remember
I'm
that
telling
one,
you.
we got to have you back on the show so
Yeah,
you
because
can
my
do
aunt
that
told
one.
me, the pastor told me, God wants you to hurt him sometime, baby.
It's and I have to do some more research, so I'm gonna put this out there because I know my folks that's in here and in tune. A lot of churches, and I forgive me if I can't recall it all right now, use this as a benediction. Um, you know that one where it's uh oh gosh, and I just was running it back over in my head while I was setting it up, and now, but you know when it says, "Watch between me and thee while we're absent one from another."
Yes.
I was going through some stuff, and I actually was like, "Hmm." You know how you start to dissect things and how
Yeah.
the word it becomes interpreted to you. I heard someone. actually confirm what kind of came from me from that. And they said that is not a peaceful passage. They're saying that you're asking for the Lord to protect you in this person while there is absence between you,
That's right.
because if you might see them again, it could be a problem.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm just like, wow, because growing up in the church, I've and being exposed to the 5% of culture, Islam, everything, and it's just like not knocking folks that've only been exposed to one, but when you are taught, like the elders that I had, what they came through, they was through the civil rights era. They
Yeah.
saw it birth. They was part of it. They lived during the Great Depression. So they teach you to see differently. They teach you to read and push, like I was saying earlier, to my sons, to build that cognitive muscle to make sure that you don't lose that,
Yeah. Amen.
because it allows you to see beyond the printed word.
Man, sister, I've studied with all of them. I've studied with the Muslim people. Believe it or not, I have a book. It should be coming out in a couple months called Ghetto Commandments.
Okay.
And
I love new announcements. I love new announcements.
yeah,
Yes, yes, yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah. And and it's really divinely inspired because the Lord actually told me to write it. The Lord came up with the name. It wasn't me. You get what I'm saying? I was just,
yes.
he was saying, the Holy Spirit had ministered unto me, teach them the word in regular wording. Because a lot of people, when I
Break it
first,
down and make it plain.
that's right. Because when I didn't know how, I grew up in the church, but I didn't, because my dad was a churchgoer, my stepfather, and my mom wasn't the churchgoer. She had been a churchgoer her whole life, but she had changed once we got older. She didn't believe in the church people like that, so she
Hmm.
didn't want us in there. She used to be very adamant about us not being at the church.
So
She had seen so
folks,
much
folks,
stuff go
that's
on
about
at
to
the
say,
church.
folks get hurt at the church.
Yeah, that's what she said. Children get hurt at the church, and
Hmm.
they never recover from that.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? And so my mom
Yep.
was very adamant, but my dad was one of them. He was one of them picky people that grew up in the church. That this pastor's brother that I'm telling you about that said God wants you to hurt him. That's her, my stepfather's her brother, and they devout church going people. You get what I'm saying? And my dad was
Hmm.
so picky. He's a picky dude, right? And he would go in and sit right in the front row, knowing that seat belonged to so and so. My dad going to sit right in their seat. And they be looking at him all crazy and
Oh,
looking at us. And
he
the
was
people in the church,
petty.
yeah, he was a trip, girl. He was funny. It's all outdoors. And so they be looking at us and stuff. And you scared as a little kid. So you looking around and stuff. I'm like, Dad, they mad with us. He said, I don't care. He said, we need the prayer more than they do. They've been here for years. He said, they've been sitting in these same seats for years. They can move for a day,
Ah, no, that's right.
you
Oh
know.
man.
And then when
Oh man.
the collection plate would come, my dad would give us all these little quarters and nickels and stuff to throw into the collection plate. He said, and then after you throw that in there, take $2 out. He was one of those type of church going people where he gonna press the limit. He gonna, and then, as a young woman gifted, you know, I've always had this ability to be able to see things in spirit. You
Yes.
understand? And so when I was in the church one day, I had seen in the front row where he put us at, I seen a lady. I fell asleep in the church and I seen a lady die.
Mm.
One of the choir singers had died while I was, sleep. And I woke up and I was so scared that I told my dad what happened. I was like, that lady right there gonna die. That lady gonna die. And um he made me take it to the pastor. He was like, well, let's take this to the pastor and tell the pastor. And so I was like 12 then. And
Mm.
so when I took it to the pastor called me a liar. And then that lady, maybe about a month or so and a half later, hit the mountain and died. And she
Mm.
died and she had the same scar on her. I can still see her right to this day at my good and grown age, she had
Mhm.
this big scar across her face that they couldn't patch up, the
Yeah.
undertakers, and I had described her to the max. And so after she passed away, my dad took me right back to the pastor, right to that lady's funeral, and he made me look that pastor right in his face. And he said to the pastor, sometime you got to stop believing in yourself and believe in God.
That's right. That's right. Cuz that right there is really like the thing that has hurt the church is that the people in positions of authority abuse it.
Yeah, they forget that God is real.
Like, a lot of people have not been appointed, they took
Yeah,
those positions.
yeah,
You know, there has to be a true anointing. Like I spoke about my grandmother, Pastor Renee Cummins. I kid you not. Like her whole life, if it didn't benefit anyone I know, like I can go down a list of the women, my Aunt
yeah,
Helen, my grandmother Renee, like, you know, the stuff that they put in me, instilled in me, and like my Aunt Helen making sure that I find my own peace through the mess. You
yeah.
know, my grandmother Renee, she was like the biggest supporter. She was like the glue in the beginning, and she really was straight up and down with me. There was no holds barred,
That's
no
right.
lying, no none of that.
That's right.
The
That's
rough
right.
around the edges, she helped me embrace that tomboyish will that I have, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And she made me comfortable young being me.
that's
You know what
right.
I'm saying?
Amen.
And as most will say, while she was still in the world, but she was always God in my eyes, like the woman, the female that raised the kids, that rears them, that's like God in the children's eyes. So, we are supposed to be as righteous as we can be. You know, that's how we would like or strive to be.
Yeah,
And even when folks thought that she was at her worst, she was really operating in her best
that's right.
because I'm a product of it.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
proudly boast. Like her birthday is next month. That's why I asked you when your birthday was.
Uh-huh, that's right. Cause
Hers is
we straight up. We
Yeah, hers is the
straight up.
27th. Hers is the 27th, and when I tell you, like, she is self-determination, like that's Coogee Chakalia. Like she is that. What I watched her, how parents watch us, as
Yeah.
children, we watch them. And I see and I know. So when she gets up there to preach, when she's there praying, yes, I stop. Yes, I don't move. Yes, I am quiet because I know for a fact
She about to lay it
she
down.
and I know she's speaking
Yep.
nothing from truth because
She about to lay it down.
this is not someone who only she lived it. She lived the word.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and you say the word is true and living. Her life example is the word. So yes, I hold on to her word. Spoke to her today. You know what I'm saying? Like I hold
Yeah.
on to her word. That's fact. Can't nobody. I'm betting on black when it come to her too. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
no one can sway that. So it's I remember when my daughter was killed by a hit and run driver. Literally
Oh man, sorry to hear that.
appreciate it. Literally, you see how I'm looking? I'm looking at the top of her head like that. And she's like, "Why do you keep looking at me like that?" And I'm like, doing this and doing
Yeah.
this. She had the crown of
Yeah.
glory sitting around the top of her head.
Yeah. Absolutely.
There was no
Absolutely.
light there, just right over the top of her head. Like when I
Yeah.
say,
When I tell people that, go ahead. I'm sorry.
like
Go ahead.
like with not having my mother there when I lost my daughter, like the key factor, like it was her.
Yeah.
Like she was right there, front and center, stepped up, like there was something that transpired at the burial. And I'm telling you, if it wasn't for her to be on the other side of my ear, it would have got ugly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's
Absolutely.
how monumental and structural she is in my life. Like I tell folks, I have guardian angels walking in the flesh, and I am so grateful for
Always.
that. Like,
Always.
a lot of people don't pay attention to the family members that have
Always.
been placed to
Yeah.
be that for you, but I know who mine are.
At least you know, because sometimes they forget you. You get what I'm
Mhm,
saying? And because the world take hold of them, they forget that there was that person that was righteous in their life the whole time, like from
mhm,
birth until now. You get what I'm saying? And
yep,
speaking of crowns, that's what I was trying to interject in there. When I told, a couple of my friends know me for just, they know the astute God girl. You know what I'm saying? And even in the flesh, they know that I'm gonna always do the right thing.
mhm,
That's one of um my gifts is I'm always do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And my dad used to build it in our head. Do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Do the right thing because this is what brings character. This is what draws character. So
yep,
one day,
my face card gotta be good, my name gotta
yeah,
be good.
once I woke up one day out of into a deep, real deep dream, and I used to ask my dad all the time, why can I see this stuff? Like, and he used to always say to me, because you stand in the midst of two different realms at the same time. He says, see,
Yep,
you're not just on in an earthly plane, you also are in a spiritual plane at the same time. And he
yep,
used to say to me, I used to always tell your mom, because at first I thought I was crazy. I'd be watching people's spirit move before it move. I'd be like, y'all see that shit?
mhm. You know
And they'd be
how
like,
I
no.
know
And,
what you're
and I,
talking
I just
about.
start going off. And they'd be like, why are you flipping like that? I was like, they finna make a move. And I start flipping and I start threatening people.
No, but I get it. I get it. It wasn't. I would tell like the elders, like the elders that I told that I could see things. They started to pass on.
Yeah,
But even with my own daughter, before it happened, I saw her death 3 times.
yeah.
So
And so,
I was prepared spiritually for it.
yeah, I
You know
used
what
to
I'm
ask
saying?
my dad, what is that? What is that? What is that? And he couldn't see, but he knew I was telling the truth from a little kid because he was able to see it when he was high.
Mm-hmm.
He could see into the spirit realm when he was high.
Mm-hmm.
So he knew what I was saying to him. So he was always like the overseer over that spiritual part of my life. And he used to always say to me, I tried to tell your mother to put you in a special school when you was little. He said, but your mom kept fighting with me. She told me that she didn't want to do that with you because they take people like you and they make you weapons.
That's right. That's
So
right.
my mother wanted me to be as normal as possible
Mm-hmm.
growing up. So she never, engaged that part of me. But I'm telling you, the Lord is so magnificent and so merciful that he began to teach me himself. And the
That's right.
things that I've seen over the years and the stuff that I've told people and all kind of stuff, like they don't believe me at first. And then later on they come back like, you know what, you was right. And I be looking at them like, man, don't tell me I was right. Like I need y'all to move out the way when I'm saying something. Like don't
That's
come
right.
back. I don't need to be right. I need for y'all to hear me.
So I don't have to be right.
Yeah, for real. Cause it's a painful feeling for me on the inside when I watch things go down that I knew was gonna happen.
Yep. Because
And nobody
especially,
can hear what I'm saying to them. Like, listen, I need for y'all to hear me.
but this is the point here. This is the point here, though. And we don't like it, but we have to remind ourselves everything that revealed to us, we are not supposed to share either.
Yeah.
You have to know when, and when you receive those who are rejecting what, those are the ones that we were not supposed to say anything to.
Yeah, it's been painful over the years. So I've
Mhm.
learned over the years to kind of, you know, stay to myself a lot to the point where I don't even tell people that I have the gift. You one of the very first people in a long time that I've told this to. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I keep it to myself a lot. Like even when my niece was living with me, we would be like getting ready to go out or somewhere and I'll tell her, nah, hold up for a minute, wait.
Got to
And
change your mind, yup.
and
Mhm.
because she is also gifted,
Mhm.
when it dawned on her, she looked over at me and said, Aunt Tosh, how do you know that? Like, how do you do that? She said, how do you do that?
It
And I
sounds
just
like
look at her.
my youngest son. He
Yeah,
was
and I
like,
just look at her and
"Umi, how you
smile.
know that?"
Yeah, yeah,
But they have it. My daughter has been visiting them since they were babies.
yeah,
She and her 22nd birthday, I got up real early because I heard my mother talking to me,
yeah,
and she said, "Come on out to the porch." So I went outside. The sky was uh pinkish, bluish, purple, like, and it looked like it was
yeah.
just spray painted, layered across. Like, you remember the sand art
Like water
from
paint.
the
That's right.
fairs,
Yeah,
and like how you make your little thing and layer it. It was the sky was just layered like that, and just listening. And one morning, out of nowhere, no one is out. 5 o'clock in the morning, there's no traffic, and there's always traffic around here. I
yeah,
live right up the street from FedEx, so there's always traffic, but not this morning. And I could just sit there and I could see her, she 22-year-old self standing right next to my Umi. And she when she transitioned, she was 28.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like seeing them stand next to each other and taking in what was said. I still haven't shared with anybody the full conversation, just the stuff that I know could be shared.
yeah.
And
Absolutely.
and it was just amazing to know when I finally started telling everyone in the house. My sons was like, I guess I was ear hustling.
Talk about it.
I guess I was ear hustling because I didn't have like the TV on or anything, but I can hear them talking to each other about having a dream about an older sister that they only know through the spirit and through pictures and talking to me about.
Yeah,
She comes and visits them more often than I thought.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
they're comparing their dreams. I mean, and the conversation was so intense because it started to overlap into the dream that I had. That I said, "Wait a minute. What are y'all talking about?" And then sometimes they're reluctant because they don't know if it's going to trigger me emotionally or anything like
Yeah,
that. And those are my
yeah,
protectors. So if they think anything gonna make me cry, they not gonna tell me. They try their best to prevent that from happening.
yeah,
Um, but they said, well, yeah, Umi, she came to us and they had the same dream. The night going into the morning of her birthday, like, and then I woke up. So it was like they had the dream, and I guess their dream finished, and then mine started at 5.
yeah,
And it was just like, and then listening to them, like, literally it was like parallels, like all three of us had the same. So it's a blessing, you know. Not everyone in my family has it, but
yeah,
no one discussed it until I started to say, "You know what? I see things." And then I found out, "Oh yeah, so does this one and this one and that one." And
that's
then
right.
I saw the ones that were mentioned, they all kept clear quartz hanging from the rear view mirrors of their cars in the corner in the living room. Look, I,
You don't
I
see it
just
on
don't
my
have my
look,
big one on, but
look,
yep, here
look.
go my quartz here. And so I'm putting it all together like, wow, the houses, we always had the raw quartz at the corners of the house
Yes,
in the garden, and I'm putting it all together like, okay, so I'm not crazy, like you were saying, like, I'm actually normal, but just normal on a different realm.
on a different plane. That's
Yeah,
right.
like, I'm normal, they just not where I'm at. I'm
Yeah,
here, I'm over here. Like,
yeah,
they're here, I'm here, but I'm more over here with mine while they're stagnant in the middle. So once I
yeah,
understood that, a lot of friends of mine, older brothers, didn't listen, and then getting ready to go places, and then they'd be like, "What song?" I'd be like, "Nah, I'm not
that's
going."
right.
And then
And
they'd be
I,
like,
I
"Why?"
done
Was
stayed
I
out a
was
lot
like,
of trouble like that.
I said, "I don't feel right." And then
Yeah,
another friend would come over, they'd be like, "Oh, y'all ready to go?" My sister, they was like, "Uh-oh, don't tell me she's starting that again." Yep, my sister, mm-mm. The last time he didn't listen, he broke his leg in a car wreck.
Yeah.
So this time he said, "Nope, I ain't going nowhere." My sister said we could chill out and just, parlay here. And sure enough, those that listened stayed. The rest of them went, and two people got shot.
Yeah, because you know that I used to explain it to my kids, right? I always knew when they had did something because they couldn't look at me.
Oh
I had
yeah.
these real strong eyes, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I would just,
Yep.
you get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And then
Yep.
they would say, "Mommy, don't look at me because your eyes hurt." And I said, "Stop doing shit."
Yep. Yep.
So, as they got older, for all the stuff that they've seen, me be able to do, they like, they started wondering, like, what kind of mommy do we have? And I used to just look at them and say, "Mommy is an X-Man."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the way that I could explain my gift to them.
Yep.
Mommy is an X-Man.
That's right.
And so now they understand what I'm saying because they have their own gifts in their own ways. And so when, I say mommy is an X-Man, they know to say, I'm an X-Man too.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying? And
That's
and and
right.
and these are the blessings of God.
Yeah, we children of the sun, so
Yeah, these are the blessings of God. You know what I'm saying? In order to be able to, what the Bible called, discern certain things, and
That's right.
prophesy certain things. You get what I'm saying? And a
Indeed.
lot of people aren't prophets. They just people. I call them quoteologists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They be quoting you to death and don't even know what it means. Like I literally had to box some church people out one day on my page because I'm telling them that don't mean that.
It don't.
Stop listening to pastor. You go on the
With
you
his interpretation and leaning
you
on
didn't
his
read.
understanding.
That's right. Read the Bible and read all the scriptures, not just the Bible. Read all of them
That's right.
yourself so that you can get a better understanding about what the word of God is saying to you. Because God will literally speak to you in his own word. I didn't know that's why he asked me to create the book Ghetto Commandments because, for all those years, I was just listening to pastor. I had never picked up the book myself, but maybe about my mom passed when I was like 25. So about 27, 25, I got baptized, but I was still in a funk. And so about 27, I had my family's Bible. My dad and my mom passed the family Bible off
That
on to me,
heirloom Bible.
which
I
I
got
still
I got
had.
the Quran, the
Yeah, I
heirloom
still.
Bible. I
That's
got all
right.
that sitting behind here.
My Quran up there on the side, but I had literally prayed, Lord, teach me how to read your word.
Mm.
And I threw the Bible up like that, and on the bed it laid down. And when it laid down, it started flipping like this. I was like, "What the?" You get what I'm saying? The pages just started flipping like this,
Mhm.
and it scared the life out of me. I didn't know what to do. And then when it stopped, it just started. It told me to read this passage, and then I read that passage, and I understood it perfectly well. And then the Lord told me to go back to the beginning and read it like a book. He
Mhm.
said, don't read it the way that they read it to you. Read it page for page, like a book, chapter for chapter. So I went and I read the whole entire Bible so that I could understand not just the quote that you're throwing at me, but the precedence behind that quote.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, don't
That's right.
quoteology me to death because you giving me a quote and saying that it pertained to this right here, but that had nothing to do with the story that it came from.
That's right.
The
You right.
reason why it say this right here and this right here is because this, and that. And though people started looking at me like, "Who are you?" And I'm looking at
Filled
like
with the
I'm
see,
I'm
that's the difference.
I'm the
When you're
anointed
filled
I'm
with
the
the
anointed child of
holy
God.
when you are filled with the Holy Spirit. That's a Holy Spirit filled. That's not someone holding on to a title. You know,
No,
you got to be filled with the Holy Spirit. That is it.
yeah,
And people make it more than that. And a Muslim would tell you that. Those that a Jewish person, all of them, they will all tell you the same thing. It is about the Spirit of God. Period. That's it. It's
Sister,
not what you call yourself because you'll be called by many names.
that's I'd have been called by many names. That's why my name is just B. Taj B. Not B, regular B, B E.
BE, just B.
You feel what I'm saying? Like Taj
Yep,
B.
gotcha.
You understand? But sister, believe it or not, the book when I started to register my book, uh I don't know if on my page you watched it, but I have Dr. Tissa Muhammad on there, who was Minister Farrakhan's nurse when he got sick. She helped bring him back to
Mhm.
his normal state, right? And
Mhm.
when I presented that to her, Minister Farrakhan told her to tell me, when you finish the book, come and bring it to me, and I'll write your 4 page for it.
Yes, I know that's right. I
You
know
get what
that's
I'm
right.
saying? That's
Because
and you understand that, right?
I love it is because one, he knows that it was God sent. He
That's
knows
right.
that because Minister Farrakhan says one time, like Islam and the nations of the gods and the earth's 5%ers, they are s- pretty much one and the same. They've taken the student enrollment and they use it, the 120 and all of that. But the part where the greeting says so much. So in the nations of the gods of the earth, it's peace God, peace earth, you know,
Yeah.
because
Islam.
it's exactly.
That's right.
So when Farrakhan breaks it down, he says it. He said, I don't care who you are. Like, and Farrakhan is funny with it because he
Yeah.
said you could be a brother with your pants hanging down and all of this, but I still greet you. Peace, beloved, or peace, God. He said, because I see the God in you. You
That's
may
right.
not see it, but I see it. And those are people who have had a praying family member covering over them, those who were naturally wrapped up in the light, and they just haven't quite gotten fully there yet, but those of us can either hear them or we see them. So we have to do them justice by treating them accordingly because folks forget now. You may not think that there's covering over that person and you treat them ill
Girl,
and see what happens to you after.
my stepfather was a foul somebody when he wanted to be. He was as foul as, but what he did teach us was how to roll out the bed and onto our knees. That's how you start your day off. He said, ain't no way of getting out the bed without having it, like there's no way that you can't process that. Roll out the bed onto your knees, start there, and then start moving.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying? Like that's
Indeed.
what he had every day, and every day he made sure that we knew that Bible, as foul as he was, or some of the stuff, because in his way of doing things, he liked to play with the devil. He always thought that he could beat the devil. He was one of them type of people.
I've heard stories of a lot of elders
I,
like that.
I'm telling you, he always thought that he could beat the devil. And me, I'm a person that don't play with the devil. I slay demons.
I know that's right. We ain't got no time to be playing.
Yeah, I ain't got no time to play all them games. Nah, pop, go ahead with that, yo. You know what I'm saying? But what he
Hmm.
did teach me was that David was a man after God's own heart, Taj. You understand?
Indeed.
And so I understood that, and I took that in. Like you being able to be you, and still carry there's nothing that you can take from your anointing. There's nothing that you can do to kill the anointing except to grieve God.
That's right.
Grieve the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit will flee. You understand what I'm saying? As long
Yeah.
as you are in step with what you're supposed to be doing in righteousness, there's no way for you to. And so he would always like cover me when it came to Taj did this or Taj did that. My mind didn't even think on that level. I would be getting accused of stuff that I ain't even thought about.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? And he would say to them, but she don't even think like that.
Yeah.
Like take a minute to get to know her so that her mind don't even think in that
Like I
capacity.
said earlier in the interview, you know what I'm saying? You may think you remember. of me, but take the time to get to know me. Like I definitely know what you're talking about because people that know me, and if somebody say, carrying a bone to them, they'll be like, nah, I know Shine a little better than you do
Yeah,
because that don't even sound like her.
don't even sound like her. I stopped the whole fight one night like that because some little kids that I used to raise, when we got into the poetry thing, getting back to the poetry
Hmm.
people, uh, there was a young lady in there. She was just awfully jealous, but I know she wasn't jealous of me, but the God in me. You get what I'm saying? And
Exactly.
so she would always like challenge everything and try to run at me and do all kind of crazy stuff. So I was saying to her, stop bringing the kids in the bar and stuff like that because they too little to be in the bar. Well, wherever I go, my kids can go. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at, and they like 15, 11, and 13. I'm like, stop bringing the kids in the bar, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I know about the spirits which dwell in there
That's
amongst the
right.
alcohol. You get what I'm saying? Because when you
That's
under
right.
alcohol, you under the attempt of being inhabited. Why? Is because you have let your guard down.
That's right.
And those people in there, and so I'm trying to warn them, and instead of her saying that's what I said, she said Taj B said this and that. So now I'm coming from my cousin's funeral, and I pull up, to we had a poetry night that night, so I made sure that I had left to be back in time for the poetry night. And next thing I know, her daughter and them come running at me all crazy and stuff, and I'm looking at she got a machete. First of all, I'm like, "What's the machete for, Ebony? Like, what's that all about?" Because I'm seeing her already. I already know what you made of. I done peeped you like months and a year ago. You get what I'm saying? Like you ain't
Hmm.
even. But what's the machete about? Because I'm trying to explain to her, no weapon forged against me shall prosper. You need to know that.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna beat the brakes off you with the machete. Believe that. But she got her daughter who's 16 jumping at me, and these are kids that I have spoiled and have taken care of from little kids. And Tosh being, why you say this and why you say that and why you, and I'm looking at her like, I just stopped and I said to her, Shantae, do that sound like me? I said, when Tosh B need to go through this person, you said this one said that this one said that this one said that this one said that
That's
Tosh B
right.
said. I looked
Hmm.
over at her, I said, Shantae, do that sound like me? When Tosh B ever need all them people to say anything?
Nothing. Not a
And
once.
she stopped and she thought about it. She said, no, that don't sound like you. I said, don't believe that shit. Tosh B
People.
ain't said none of that. I said for your mommy to keep y'all away from these grown demons that be out and about. That's what I said. And
That's
I ain't said it to none of them people. I said that directly to your mommy. So your mommy playing this game out of jealousy and she trying to push y'all up to try to hurt me. But I'm telling you, I'm gonna be victorious.
it's you're already victorious. This
Yeah,
is
I'm gonna
just
be
this
victorious.
is just the in between. Just letting y'all know I'm already at the finish line though.
Yeah.
Y'all just ain't arrived yet.
Yeah, even
So
in the flesh, I'm gonna be victorious.
that's
Like,
right.
cause remember, there's another me. I'm in the world, but I'm not of the world, but I'm still in the world. Remember that there's another me.
That's right. That right there. Remember, there's another me.
Yeah.
Y'all hear that? Remember, there is another you. So with knowing the gift that you have, the favor that's over your life, where you have been, the transitioning from, like you said, from being known to being famous to not being famous to not being known, for them to love you, for them to hate you, for you to step back out the light to take care of your own children. What would you say to someone who may be just sitting there stirring and not knowing what to do?
God is alive and well.
Y'all heard that, right? Short, sweet, and to the point. God is alive and well. Are there any shout outs you want to give to those who have been just as influential to your life as you have been to others? Also, plug the book again and also let folks know how to find you.
Um, the book should be out in a couple months. It's called Ghetto Commandments. It's been long in the making. It gives a overall view from the creation of man, from the beginning of time, from before the creation of man, when God started creating man, and
Mm-hmm.
how the whole battle came about until the natural times now. Um, it'll give all the inside information that people don't really understand, but they do understand because, like Christ, we begin to walk in that path.
Mm-hmm.
Unto Christ we are. And the thankful. You have to thank Yeshua for being so um, strong, because not too many of us can walk this walk and not mess up,
Mm-hmm.
but Christ did. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's a
That's right.
path laid out for us, and every now and again we get sidetracked by, things and stuff. So we always give that honor. If I'm gonna give anybody honor, I'm gonna give it to Yeshua the Christ, because He is the one that did it to perfection and freed us all from sin. Um, I have a clown session. I speak like this with you now because this is me and you kicking it.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying? But
That's
I have
right.
a show that I do, the Ultimate DJ Music Review and More Talk Show, and it it's me as an A&R. I used to be a artist development and A&R for a record company, and so what you'll see over there is me clowning with the people, the musicians and the different people,
Mm-hmm.
and then me being a community activist, you'll every now and again see people come up from my community activist world, or you'll see other people that come up that I've done holistic medicine with, because I practice all natural medicine. There's nothing that God had put on the earth that we don't already have to heal ourselves. So all the medication and stuff that they try to give us is really a setback for us spiritually and physically.
Yeah.
So, you'll see my people on there teaching about the holistic world of medicines and stuff like that. So it's a variety of stuff. That's why it's called music review and more,
That's right.
because we talk about more than just music over there. And we have a blast. Y'all gotta come check us out sometime. We have a blast. It's mostly a bunch of laughing, because laughter is healing. You
That's
know,
right.
so we clown. Y'all will see us in here. We be cussing and clowning and acting a fool. Um, and I say cussing. I don't say cursing, because cursing is something different.
That's right.
Cursing is what people do to add negative things onto your life. If you look at the definition of cursing, and it's what the
Mm-hmm.
biblical word of cursing means, is to add something on to somebody's life that wasn't there a minute ago.
That's right.
So curses and blessings can't come out the same mouth.
That's right. That's a split tongue.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't be
Mm-hmm.
wishing nothing bad on nobody and praising the Lord at the same time.
Nope. And them folks, look, them Christians, them church
Absolutely.
folks do it all the
Absolutely.
time.
That's why I break down what cursing is.
Mm-hmm.
We also demanded not to use profanity, but every now and again you'll hear some profanity come out, but which is also forgivable by the honor of Yeshua.
That's right.
We can always ask for forgiveness for that, because we didn't add on anything to somebody's life by saying, the hell with that.
And also, hello, the thoughts are already known before they're spoken.
Amen.
So,
Amen. And speaking of the crown, though, this is the funny part, because when you said that, I be wanting people to understand the way that this spirit thing work, and how uh, graduated God will do. God will graduate you to the next level, to the next level, to the next level. I was saying to you earlier, some of my people who are in Christ real hard. I woke up one day and I had said to them, I got a crown. I was sleeping. I was in spirit, and God put
mm,
a crown on my head. and like trying to explain it to them. And I've now received 3 crowns, to the point where
Mm.
I literally had to go back and look up what that is. And there's 5 crowns,
Yep.
and I received 3 already. I knew I was going to do this show before I knew I was going to do this show, because the Lord has showed me in a vision, right? He
Mhm.
had he had put me down, and he put this crown on my head, and then he told me walk toward these doors. And when I walked toward these doors, it was like 2 great big wooden doors. And I'm trying to figure out. And my ex was sitting in the corner. He was unable to move. He was sitting in the dark in the corner. And he's a very prominent man in the world, like one of Oprah's young millionaires. But he was sitting in this vision in the corner. He couldn't touch me. He couldn't move.
Yeah, isn't it? Like I said, I don't. I paraphrase, but I know you will get raised, and they will be left as your footstool.
Yo, he couldn't move. I'm trying to tell you. And so the
And it
Lord told
sounds
me,
like that's what that was going on right there.
walk through these doors, right? So when I opened up the doors, before I opened up the doors, as I was walking to the door, I mean, because God is a funny dude. If people get a chance to know God internally, like for real, personally, God is a hilarious dude,
Yeah.
right? So as I'm walking to the door, I hear the little Wizard of Oz song. Come on, step into the sun, step into the light. You're out of the woods, step into the light. And I was like, what in the world? So then when I walked through the doors, I pushed the doors open. They were like these huge wooden arches. They were like sketched, and just beautiful, beautiful. So when I pushed the doors open, there was a crowd of people. It's like I walked right into the scene of Mahogany.
Mm.
You remember that when she first come on in Mahogany, and do
Yeah.
you know where you're going to? I
Yes.
walked
Yes.
right out like Mahogany onto this. I was like, what in the world is this? So I already knew all this stuff was coming to pass.
That's what's up.
You get what I'm saying? Like I already knew
Indeed.
all this stuff. So when I met Troy, and Troy I met on a humdrum. I ain't know Troy. I had just started the show because some of my friends kept pushing me like, yo, you got all this knowledge about the music world. Like at least give it away before something happened, blah, blah, blah. And then, as I started going on through the show, Troy showed up out of nowhere.
Yep. The
And I've been
right
with
here,
Blast. I've been with Blast ever since.
Carla Simpson, when she said that's favor. Look,
Yeah.
that's my Shug. That's like my big sis. I was interviewed on her show, and Veep was like, "Hey, could you stay on once you get done?" And he was like, "Look, hearing your story, and then I love your poetry." He was like, "Have you ever thought about starting a podcast?" When I first moved to Greensboro, North Carolina, I'm in Charlotte now. But when I first moved to Greensboro, North Carolina,
I got
I was
some
talking
people in Greensboro you might know.
probably more than likely.
Uh-huh.
And my cousin Nikki is in Atlanta, well, East Point. And she and I was talking, and we was like, yo, we should start a podcast and stuff like that. So that was 2009, 2010 when I spoke that. So September 30th has made it 2 years that I've had the
Yeah,
podcast running now with
yeah.
Blast. And like, yeah, it's dope. I love being part of the team and part of the family. I
Me
got it
too.
connected to my YouTube page. So my personal YouTube page, this plays on that too. So, and my writer's page on Facebook. So everything is all connected. Like I said before earlier, before bringing you on, like it's another family. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like
right.
I've explained it, you know, I have family. Things have happened where family has no longer been family. People have been removed because of death and because of just of some things not being done right. So you have to sometimes create your family, or your
That's right.
family becomes created for you.
Yep, God give you another family.
Yep, through
And
your
rightfully.
trials.
Yep.
That's right. Through your trials and tribulations, you are giving people, those who help support you along your trials. You just don't leave them people by the wayside. You know what I'm saying? Those
Yeah.
are the people that are part of your tribe. So I always like everything I wear is somebody that is part of my tribe. You know, I do my best. Just like I did a live video yesterday. It was a sister in the rain. She asked me before and I didn't have money for her. Now it's raining yesterday and she asked me again and I didn't have money. Like it was all on my tap thing.
Yeah.
So as I do scratch offs, if I have winners, I just throw them in my car. Now, mind you, it's
Yeah.
raining. She has on shorts. It looks like swimming trunks, jacket, all of that. And when I tell you, like, it was like in like even to this day, this whole 24 hours, 24 plus hours, and it still resonates with me in a way like, wow, like this is the mentality now. She asked for a couple of dollars. I went and I found it was a winner, $5 scratch off.
Yeah. Amen.
I said, sister, I don't have the physical money. I said, but this is a $5 scratch off. Here, it's a
Go
winner.
cash
You
that
get
in. That's right.
$5. Go cash that in. She said, no. And then I said, but, and then I walked closer just to let her know, like I wasn't pulling her chain. Like this is real. Like I want you to see it. I'm not, I don't like scratch offs. I was like, okay, now mind you, I told you it was raining. I am soaked.
Yeah.
And people that know me, yes, I may be from the north, but I guess I just have those southern qualities and the island qualities in my DNA because I love to be barefoot. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like soggy toes.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like
When I
dirty
tell you,
feet. Yeah, I get
when
it.
I tell you I got home and had to kick my sneakers and my socks off because they were wet. That's how hard it was raining. I
Yeah.
got soaked for the sister and she still didn't take it. And I was like, why what is going on? I just and but again, I digress because everybody is
It
not
was
where they're
just a
supposed to
test.
be.
No, it
And it
was a
was a
test
test.
to
And
see if you would be that way.
I know I didn't
Yeah.
fail, but
You didn't. You didn't.
it just disheartened me. Like I know my heart was in the right place.
Yeah.
And I just even now as speaking to it, I just hope that that sister the next time I see her, it will be she will be in a better state. You know, whatever
Yeah.
she's
It was a
going
test
through
of
right
character.
now. I hope that it gets better for her because I don't like to see none of us out here hard. I
Yeah.
don't like it. It just boggles me. That's a whole nother show, a whole nother conversation for that.
Well,
But
let me
I
say this to you on the top of that so that you can understand this right here, right? When they come like that, you have to sometime ask them, what did you do to God? See, that made you think, right? What did you
mhm.
do to God? Why are you in despair like this? What did you do to God? Because God take care of his own. So what did you do to God? You need to go back and repent for that.
Mhm. Carla says you are amazing. That doesn't make sense, lady. Get it together. The bootsy kiss. Oh my God, why do I see that meme right now with the bootsy kiss? It's gonna be stuck in my head now.
Yeah, so don't ever feel like that. That's on you. That's a what happens is that's a test of character to see the character flaws. You understand
Got
what I'm saying?
it. Mhm.
And those are things that we have to work on when we see our own character flaws right there before us. Those are things that God are pointing out to us that you need to work on this right here within yourself. And you didn't
The
have that
mirror.
flaw. Yeah,
The
you didn't
mirror.
have that flaw. See, because very easily there go I.
That's right.
You understand?
Mhm.
Very easily, there go I. See, because imagine if the tables was turned. You understand what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
Because the tables
Mhm.
can easily turn. So
That's
what
right.
happens is that God tests those little characters in us to see what we got them little character flaws that need to be worked on. Because it's step by step. People think that it's actually steps, but it's really step by step
Mhm.
into righteousness.
That's right. That's why no matter in the midst of everything, I just know that I've continued to be myself. I stayed the same, regardless of however relationships have gone and friendships have
Yeah,
gone. I know I stayed solid. I know I did what I was shown to do. And when I mean by shown, I'm talking about third eye shown, you know,
absolutely.
and then it was added on to by my elders, you know. So I definitely know like that's what keeps me pushing in life. That's what another hurdle comes. Oh well, okay, let's all right, let's get ready to jump this one, you know, because
That's
I
right.
know been, as they say, steadfast. I will stand on my
That's right.
square nice and firm. So
That's
I
right.
n- I
Grounded.
don't waver. And then you know I'm also a Taurus too. So yes, I'm foundational all the way through and through. But again, I would not have been there had it not been for those elders that have been designed to be put in place to be my guides along the way. Because my
That
life totally been different. I could have been singing a whole different song because of the things that have been taken from me. But in the midst of things being removed, I've seen also the blessings that I have in spite of.
that's right.
And a lot of
That
people
was
don't have that vision.
that was gonna be my poem actually before I did Chronically Late. I had picked a whole nother poem out called Deeply Planted, Deeply Rooted.
That's what's up.
You understand?
Hmm.
Deeply rooted, sister. Because when you deeply rooted, can't nothing sway you.
That's right.
Can't nothing swing you. Can't nothing knock you off your feet. Because you dug
Right.
in deep.
Real deep.
That's right. I'm dug in. I'm planted. I'm standing. So when you hear me say stuff like I'm standing,
That's right. Cause see, I really don't like the term maintaining, even though that's what we
nah,
grew up on.
I'm
Cause
standing.
my thing is think about where your life is when
Yeah,
you speak that.
yeah,
Because if your life is a mess, when somebody asks you how you living, you say maintaining, that means you maintaining mess.
yeah, I'm
So
standing.
exactly. So we standing and like now the youngins, I'm standing on business. We had that
They ain't
first.
standing on business though.
We had that first. We
Yeah,
really know what it means to stand on business.
yeah, I'm standing. I'm standing.
That's
Deeply
right.
rooted. Deeply
I-
rooted. I ain't swaying.
That's
Can't
right. I'm
nothing, can't
here.
nothing shake me. You get
Yep,
what I'm
I'm
saying? Like
here.
can't nothing shake me.
Can't shake me, can't fold, can't fumble. I show up and keep showing up and I keep growing up. So
That's right.
that's
And
how I
God is
go.
always going to make sure that I'm straight because God provides. So I ain't worried about what ain't have or what don't got or all those other things. All those other things are what they call, like I used to say when I was younger and the pastor had corrected me out, in my hustling years, I used to say stuff like, man, because I'm a person that'll fold my money up. If I get down to about $200, $300, I'm folding up. I'm broke. I ain't got no money.
Uh-huh.
You get
Yep.
what I'm saying? I'm folding up. Can't nobody get nothing until I could re up. You understand what I'm saying? But the pastor has stopped me one day. I was moving from I wanted to get away from my lifestyle. And the pastor
Mm.
was taking my mother's carpet up in her house and he said to me, "Well, what's holding you back?" I said, "Man, I ain't got enough money. I need just a couple thousand more dollars and then I'm out." He said, "Take what you got and go." This goes back to that suitcase and that duffel bag that I came with because that was what pastor told me 30 years before. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? What he said was, "Take what you have and go." He said, "You believe in God?" I said,
That's
"I
right.
do." I said, "I do." He said, "Then take what you have and leave now."
That's
And
what
I
I
did.
did leaving
And I,
Jersey, moving to
yep.
Greensboro
And
by
I did just
myself.
that. And I've been
Took what
doing
I
that
had.
ever since. I've been doing it ever since.
That's one thing I know of my Uncle Mike. Like I said, I love that man. That's my man, 100 grand.
Yeah, I
He
caught Uncle
also,
Mike's show too. Yeah, I
yeah,
caught Uncle Mike's show.
like when I say that's my man, 100 grand, he is that, he is, I feel sometimes that the creator speaks through him a lot. So when people were saying I wouldn't leave Jersey because of my uncle told me straight to my face, ain't nowhere you can go that I can't get to you if I have to.
That's
He says,
right.
so don't let that be a reason why you don't move as you was told to move.
That's right.
because he knew once I said I was done, I was done. He knew it. He said, "Okay, go. Where you going? Just let me know where you're going. So when I need to come see you or find you or do whatever, I know." I live in Charlotte. He's still living in Linden, New Jersey. I could be going to Atlanta or Florida. I'm calling Uncle Mike. Hey, I'm leaving. I'm driving. This is the way I'm taking. This is where I'm staying. I'm
Yeah,
still doing
yeah,
that. And I'm 43.
yeah.
But people don't realize how important that is to do that. So
And
I
you know
really,
another thing that
hmm
pastor told me, because I had said this to him. I said, Pastor, I ain't got but this much money. I'm broke. He said, stop saying you broke. He said,
that's right.
because you curse your own path. You curse your own pocket when you say you broke. He said, you're not broke, you a little short right now.
Yep. Like my son and I was talking, and I said, "Yeah, but look, we just renting. You know, we ain't got our house now, but you ain't got to worry about it. We gonna have it. We getting it. It's
It's
just a little
coming.
delay. It's
Yeah,
coming, but
it's
we
on
gonna
his
get it.
way.
It's
Yep,
on
it's
its
on
way."
his
I
way.
told him that. I said, as long as you keep knowing that, and long as you keep saying that you going and you can see it, if you telling me you can see it, then it's definitely happening. It's gonna happen. It's just divine timing,
Tell them
and
create a
that's
vision board and put together their room.
yep.
Tell them put
hmm
together their room, how they want
The
their room to
oldest
look.
already in the art class done already did it on the black
That's
paper
right.
and
Tell them
drew the neighborhood and
that's
everything.
right.
Yep.
Tell him what he want his house to look like and what his room to look like. That put it down. Cause see, when you lay it down to where you can envision it. Cause
Yep.
see, some people
I got
can't
it. I got
envision.
one right there. I
That's
did
right.
in 2023. Shout out to my big sis Monier, one half of Copper Creations, and shout out to Ty Mika Marbury. She is a dope painter. But yep, they did a vision board event, and quality relationships and all of that stuff I had put on there, and definitely
Yeah.
that has definitely happened.
Yeah.
So everything I put on there is really really moving. So yeah, I definitely know those things work.
Yeah. Because some people I have visions without the vision board.
Hmm.
That's my gift. But some
All
people
the
don't
time.
have those visions. So you have to lay out your vision so
That's
that
right.
God can bless it.
Yeah,
Because he's
because some
always wanting to
not
bless us.
everybody has the sight to see
That's
in
right.
that way.
That's
So that's
right.
what ushers it in. So
When you
y'all
look up
remember,
and see it.
that's right. Y'all remember, follow. I'm telling you, if you don't know her already, if you don't know what she's already contributed to hip hop, if you don't know what she has already contributed to the poetry scene, y'all need to follow her. Y'all need to research her. Y'all need to go run over to her. When is your show on air on Blast?
Every Wednesday at 7 p.m.
Every Wednesday. Y'all hear that? Hump Day, 7 p.m. Get
The
you through the rest
ultimate,
of the week.
yeah, the
The
ultimate
ultimate
DJ
DJ,
music
music
review
review
and
and
more talk
more.
show.
So it's right here on Blast, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. So next Wednesday, make sure y'all check out her show. Make sure y'all reach out. You have social media?
Well, I have some stuff. Usually, if I'm um, doing any networking, it's usually on my page, the poet Taj B on Instagram, and y'all will
Tosh.
find me kicking some godly stuff on my regular page on Facebook, which is Natasha Cotton, and there you'll get a good laugh, and we every day I try to put on something that'll make you laugh or make you think, so that'll give you a chance to get to
Look,
know the
look, back in
clown.
the day, Arsenio Hall, things to make you go, hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Like the day I
So
put up there, I don't care what y'all say. I'm telling on everybody because I'm not going to hell with you.
I know that's right. I'm telling. You, if you go to
don't
hell, you going by
don't
yourself.
entrust me with none of your sick secrets because I'm telling on everybody. I'm not going to
That
hell with you. Don't put that in my head and in my heart to hold on to something that y'all know that's gonna take us both to hell. Don't even put it on me.
yeah, we ain't
I'm
sharing
not
that one.
holding it. Yeah, I'm not holding it. Keep that one between you and God. Don't get at to me because I might tell.
Well, as I said in my post, it was an honor. I enjoyed this. We got to do this again.
Yes, ma'am.
I already see the next show because I already know the sisters that I want to click you up with. So the link up with, I'm already seeing this right now. So I will definitely be reaching out to you again in the future. But it is Friday, y'all. Um,
One more
y'all.
thing. Greensboro. My cousin Nicole Cotton is there. Jolanda Brown is there. My little cousin, so you may know them. And in Charlotte, my girl Princess is there. So you may know those three.
Okay.
You may,
Okay, so
yeah.
yep, I'm gonna get linked up with all of them sisters because I already know. If you telling me, if you dropping names, I already know what that means. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? As the youngins say less.
And
I got
Jolanda
it.
is a Taurus too.
Mm.
Yeah,
We
Jolanda is
probably
a
done
Taurus.
been around in the same
Yeah,
circles then.
she's a funny somebody. I'm trying to tell you, she is hilarious. It's all outdoors. Everybody
So
thinks she mean and brash, but she not. She just a
no,
bull.
we
She just a
we
bull.
look. You got to know us. That's just
Yeah,
what it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
But
They wanted me to not love her so much, and it made me love her even more. I like Dan
exactly, and
Jolanda
it's
is
they always do
hilarious.
that. They
I like
always do that. But
Jolanda is
it
hilarious.
is Friday. Y'all be cooling how y'all be cooling. Y'all be safe out there in them streets. Do not let, because we did not allude to this whole interview, and I'm kind of glad we didn't because it went in a better direction. But do not let this election have you stressed out.
No,
Just like
absolutely not.
everything that was mentioned tonight, take all that in and use that, and whatever was for you, and what wasn't, leave it here. But definitely go into the next day, the next month, the next year with a clear mind, clear conscience, and knowing that you are doing what you are doing, and just be.
Yeah,
So, peace, love, and poetry to y'all. Again, if y'all want to donate, if you want to have your ads ran, you see the ticker running down in the bottom. You can cash at me at dollar sign SUN8 HINE CROMWELL. And if you want to be on the show, you can reach out to me at Shine Vibrations at blastmusic247.com, or you can reach out to me at sunshine8 at gmail.com, which is SUN8 HINE 8 at gmail.com. That 8 stands for new beginnings, aka build and destroy.
all right.
So y'all be safe out there. I love you and be safe.
Peace,
Peace.
sister.